What's going on, y'all? Today we got 7 reasons why old school NBA fans hate today's NBA. New school versus old school. I ain't read the title in a minute. Let's get into it.
Good evening, and let's talk some old school. Enough said. Let's dive. Always is really.
Yeah, see, I knew it was a sponsor, y'all. See,
So, how am I
knowing.
going to approach this? Well, I narrowed it down to 7 points where I feel those are the major points why old school fans dislike today's NBA. So, let's start with number 1.
They've taken away the physicality of the game.
Coming in at number 1 are the super teams. And just to be clear, back in the days we also had super teams. I mean, the 80s Lakers or the 80s Celtics also had more than 2 superstars on their team. But this all happened naturally through drafts or trades. And this is something that I don't have a problem with. However, what I do have a problem with is players who in their prime join other superstars in order to have the easy road to a championship. In all honesty, I can't respect that. Guys like Reggie Miller, John Stockton, or Patrick Ewing never won an NBA championship, but they stayed loyal to their franchise and tried it the hard way. And this is something that I truly respect. Another thing that I liked back in the days was that most superstars...
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I feel bro on that. Like, it's just... You gotta have certain principles, certain morals, you know, that you like. You're not doing that. What? Get him out. You know what I'm saying? Get it with my team. Get it with my... You know what I'm saying? So there's certain shit. I definitely agree with y'all with certain things. Like,
stayed with their franchise.
You gotta have some morals, some principles with this shit, bro.
I mean, Michael Jordan will always be a Chicago Bull because he played 12 plus years for this franchise. Ewing with the Knicks, Olajuwon with the Rockets, Malone and Stockton with the Jazz. I mean, you get the idea. It was nice to have the NBA more balanced and every team had their superstars. That was something that was really important to me back in the days and something that I really loved and enjoyed. The next one that I have on my list is uncontested dunks. It is the 1990s, finishes with a slam. But if the same player dribbles the ball into the paint and wants to slam the ball while the defender underneath basically is moving away from the basket, just that he's not on a poster, I mean, come on. Who wants to see that? A dunk is just so much better if you have a duel like 2 Cowboys
bro, you can't do that.
Man against
you can't do that, bro.
And 1 second will decide who wins.
Can't do that, bro.
If you are able to dunk
they
the
always
ball on
watching,
a
bro.
shot blocker like Alonzo Mourning or Dikembe
Can't be out here doing that.
It's just so much more than a normal dunk. Isn't that what we all want to see? This intense moment where anything can happen? In today's game, you see so many players getting out of the way, simply because they don't want to be on a poster. They call it a business decision. To me, that says it all. I love the guys who were up for the challenge, even a guy like a Sean Bradley, who accepted the challenge and wanted to help their team and were trying to block the shot. Those are real players to me. And the next one on my list is the center position, probably the one that hurts the most to me. Shaquille O'Neal, Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, David Robinson. I mean, we had so many great bigs that dominated the paint. The center position gave the sport of basketball so much. Again, you had those Western duels where 2 Cowboys faced off, the little guard who was penetrating the paint and the big who protected the basket. Another thing, we had bigs who showed the beauty of their postgame. It's all gone now, and I miss it so much.
There's not that many great centers. And I'd be Michael Jordan in this era. It's definitely changed. The way that teams play, the way everybody wants to spread the floor. Most big guys now, instead of posting up, they want to get out there and shoot threes. And you look at all the big guys, Embiid. He's definitely one of them. He spent the majority of his time at the three-point line, where when I played, we were mostly in the post. We post up, we may go out to 16, 17 feet, shoot our shots, myself, Hakeem, David. But now, Porzingis, those guys, they're all three-point shooters.
Just because Dirk is 7 feet tall and he's a great shooter, just because Kevin Durant is 7 foot and he's a great shooter, that don't mean all you other 7 foot dummies should be out there shooting jumpers.
I was.
Yo, Charles Barkley always keep it real, man.
That don't mean all you other 7 foot dummies
put
should
it
be
on
out
Charles
there
to keep it real, man.
I was always taught
Every
things
time.
that are difficult, you have to make it simple. So instead of stretching out, shooting threes, you should dominate in the post. You got a skilled guy like me playing in the post. You can't tell me it's not a high percentage shot. Right now you got a lot of unskilled guys trying to play the post who don't like taking the contact, which makes the analytic numbers sound about right. We have shifted away from physicality and shifted away from all that. Teams don't know how to play anymore. Like right now, teams are switching 1 to 5. I wish Spud Webb would have switched out on me.
Next on my list, I have the All-Star Game. Watching the All-Star Games in the 1990s, I can tell you I was always looking forward to it. The best players in the league playing together and competing to win the game. And of course, for the first 3 quarters, it was a little bit less competitive, which means they would not try to block every shot, but there was at least some defense. The players from back in the days wanted to prove that their conference was better and that they had the upper hand. And talking about the 4th quarter, I mean, it was amazing, since you could really see that they really were going at it. Today's All-Star Game is simply put terrible. No defense whatsoever. The games are super boring because all you see is players getting out of the way so that the other players can dunk the ball. That's not what I want to see. Honestly, it's really sad to say, but I can't watch it no more. And the next one that I have on my list are the rivalries.
I don't even be watching NBA games. Y'all know that. It's just so whack. Like, I'd rather watch like a park takeover or something, you know, or a high school game or something, you know, where it's actually gonna get a little active. That might get a little chippy, might get a little physical, you know. Like, come on, this bullshit ass NBA. I don't want to watch that bullshit.
Okay, one thing I really loved back in the days were those intense rivalries. The Lakers versus the Celtics, the Bulls versus the Pistons, the Bulls versus the Knicks versus the Heat, and so on and so on. You just knew back then that those teams really hated each other. And it's not that I enjoy hate, but the result that we saw, the magic on the court that we saw, players who were fighting after every loose ball, the intense fouls, this excitement, knowing that everything could happen. This is something that I'm really missing today.
Tell us about your rivalry with the Knicks.
What rivalry?
That rivalry, man, I'm telling you, boy, that was a real rivalry.
No physicality, man.
This is a big, physical, wide New York team that plays you tough. And back come the Bulls. Oh, he is ripped by Starks. This has become a war.
Anybody that was trying to take something from us, that's a rivalry.
Michael Jordan and Xavier McDaniel having words.
Every game we play, we try to send a statement. You know, we're trying to make sure they don't gain anything on us.
Get to the loose ball, and he's bottled up Jordan with the recovery, and Jordan is fouled.
As long as Patrick was going to be there, as long as Oakley was going to be there, as long as Starks was going to be there, it's like fighting your big brother or little brother. You know, you got to let them know who you are. This is where you belong.
Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move by Jordan! It counts.
I don't care where you think you are. This is where you belong.
Jordan!
And every game was like that, proving ground. You know, trying to gain that extra edge. And, you know, went from coach to another coach, and the mentality never changed. It got higher and higher and higher.
Next, I have hand checking. Yes, back in the days, teams would not score as much as they do today. But that was totally fine by me. Why? Because I could also enjoy tough defense. And also, it was way more special if a player could average 25 points while being guarded tough.
Well, we talked earlier in pregame about LeBron James being able to play forever.
He'll be 33 at the end of the month.
And we talk about the lack of physicality in the NBA, which allows guys to play differently and play easier. Because freeze it here. In the era that, you know, these guys have played in, the Shaqs and the Charles and even myself.
We call it the man era.
Okay, there's no way that you can bring the basketball up and there's no one touching
without being pressured.
or pressured. So as the play goes on,
Harper.
It's like things like that. Like, it's like they scared or something. It's like they scared to get dropped or something. You know? I mean, I'm saying, I remember back in my day, coach, yo, you go up, you know what I'm saying? Full court press, full pressure off rip, you know? If you don't got the stamina, the energy, you're not playing, you're not starting. It's over. You gotta really chase him down, you know what I'm saying? Get some easy steals off the ball, you know? It's things like that, bro. You gotta affect the game,
there's
man.
no one
game.
that ever gets touched, there's any pressure. See, if he didn't like that shot, he doesn't. LeBron James is the best player in the world. Freeze it. There's no defensive pressure or touching because of the new rules in the current state.
Now, the next one that I have on my list is the flopping. Okay, this one will be a pretty short one. With all the toughness that we were used to back in the 80s and 90s, those flops are just a joke. Just imagine someone pulling off those flops in the 80s and 90s. I bet you they would be the joke of the entire league. Next, I have the variety in the game. Now that literally everybody is shooting three-pointers, the variety of the game has vanished. The 90s had everything you want in basketball, but perfectly balanced. You had shooters, you had slashers, you had dunkers, you had defenders, and everybody had their specialty. Now it feels like all players are literally the same, and everybody's just trying to shoot the basketball.
You have guys standing out there heaving up threes that's really not three-point shooters.
Sheesh. That is enough said, man. It's basketball time machines to the best. There's a lot of things just missing from the NBA game right now, you know. But it's just the way it's going though. The NBA might be in trouble in 10 years, you know, if they don't fix something, man. Because I'm telling you, I'm not watching that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Park Takeover is more physical than this. Like, of course, obviously it's a park. We at the park. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather watch a Park Takeover than the NBA right now. It's ridiculous. Because they actually in each other's shit. Like, you know? Really getting physical. Like, come on, man. We like that over here, man. But y'all know what to do. If y'all enjoyed this reaction, click on the last reaction on your screen right now. Turn on post notifications. I'm out of here, man.